Hi, welcome to World History Online. I'm your instructor, Corey Reinking, and this is for the summer course of 2013. And I like to create these videos just to create a little bit of a welcome so I can help introduce you a little bit of the course and also so I can provide a little bit of my personality on the first day. So I'm glad that you're taking this course. It's going to be an exciting course. I recently just rearranged the course a little bit, so I'll talk a little bit about that and the changes that I've made. And I think they're pretty exciting changes. I hope to keep continuing with sort of what I'm doing. The first thing that I want to say is that congratulations on taking a summer course. I applaud you for giving up your summer and your free time to spend it in the muck and the mire of world history. So we will be talking about the period from 1500 to present in this course, and because it is normally run on a 15-week course, in the summer usually the semester's condensed, which means you'll have a lot more work to do in a shorter time. And I shouldn't say a lot more work to do. You'll have the same amount of work that you'd have to do in a 15-week course. Unfortunately, because you're going to have less time, it's going to seem like you're going to have to put a little bit more effort in. But the good news about summer courses, especially online, is that it allows you a little bit of flexibility. And it does allow you to complete it in a more timely manner than a traditional 4-month course. So for world history, one of the big things I was asking myself before the semester started was who cares? Why has history lost its relevance? And in most of sort of the up and coming generations, especially the ones in high school today, are probably having I know that they're having problems connecting relevance to history and sort of asking why study it. And so there's going to be a bigger emphasis, I think, in the field in trying to show that history is not just the memorization of names and dates, and that it's not just a bunch of trivial facts. And while those trivial facts can be interesting and great attention grabbers, that there is a lot that we can learn from history. And obviously one of the biggest reasons to do it is because it's how we learn from our mistakes. It's how we make sure not to do those errors in the future. So if you take a look in the syllabus, which is in the content tab, it's under the course overview section, you'll find that the first page of the syllabus actually asks you the question, why was the 20th century the bloodiest in human history? And that is true, that the 20th century there were more deaths than in any other century. And so I'll tell you now that this is actually going to be your final exam question. Your final exam is going to be over this essay in particular. I want you to answer, why do you think that the 20th century was the bloodiest in human history? And so you'll see some statistics on that first page, so do be sure to download and read through the syllabus. But there are things like 134 million deaths approximately from the major wars, not including conflicts, sort of other smaller events, 40 million deaths from genocide, 525 million deaths from epidemics. And so you'll see all of the statistics there. And so right away, if I throw this question out at you, why was the 20th century the bloodiest in human history? You probably already can come up with some ideas, and you have some ideas on why that might be. But we're going to dig even deeper into depth, and we're going to provide evidence for you to really discuss this question. One of the first things that you might come up with is that, well, we have more humans living in the 20th century than we have at any other period in human history, and that is true. And yet, despite that, if you take a look, for example, in 1800, there's about 750 million people in the world existing at that time, and that's an approximate estimate. To today, where you have 7 billion. And so you can think about the population multiplying over 7 times just over a short 150, 200 year period. For most of human history, we've been under 500 million people on Earth. So it's shocking that we're at 7 billion at this point. Yet despite that there are more people alive today, we actually still have a higher percentage, a higher ratio of deaths than we have at any other point. So it can't simply be explained just because we have more people living on Earth. Something else is happening too. So you probably already have some ideas, which is great, and we're going to fill in a lot of those ideas as well. But I want you to keep that in the back of your mind this semester of asking yourself, why was the 20th century the bloodiest in human history? Because then the relevant question, what comes after that, is simply the question of, how do we prevent that from happening in the 21st century? If there were so many preventable deaths, most of the deaths that you'll see listed on that first sheet are preventable. How do we make sure that we prevent that from happening in the future? And that will be a good focus for this course. There's a lot of other questions we could have focused on, but that seems to be the most relevant of stopping death Okay, so let's get to some more practical things. If you take a look at when you go through the Desire to Learn course shell, almost everything that you'll need will be in discussions. We do use, or excuse me, in the content tab, we do use the other tabs like discussions and Dropbox. But for now, what I want you to do is go to content, download the syllabus, read through it, and then go through the section called Getting Started. And that will really help you get up set up for this course. So it's going to be a condensed workload this semester, but it will be extremely exciting, and I'm very excited for this semester. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, and I will talk to you later.